Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. In case you can't tell from the background behind me, we are in a different place. It's a place that echoes. It has very high ceilings. We have very little furniture. The sound bounces off everything like I bounce off your mom on a weekend night when she's drunk. But seriously, we moved today, and so it's going to be a little different while I set it up and try to get things the way I want. But that's okay. I'm still going to make the videos. I do it for your entertainment. I do it for my masturbation pleasures. As always, I want to thank you for watching, liking, subscribing, and sharing if you're on my YouTube channel. And if you're listening on Anchor.fm, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, anywhere else, I want to thank you for listening. It means a lot, and I hope you enjoy what I do. Although I don't know why anybody would. It's a bunch of nonsense. I just try to keep it light, keep it funny as I can. Don't take it too seriously, folks. It's only comedy. Laugh even if it's on the inside. That's the name of my channel. First of all, I guess I should say Happy Mother's Day. It is Mother's Day. It's a useless holiday, but you have to say it because if you don't, then you don't love your mom. My mom happens to be dead. My father's also dead, fun fact, which makes me an orphan. So if there are any rich people looking to adopt a middle-aged, white, out-of-shape loser, I'm your guy. Trying to make the world a better place. Don't do it from a little baby who doesn't appreciate you changing his diapers and feeding him and not ever having to go to work. No, look to me. We'll make it work out. But happy Mother's Day anyway, if you are a mother. Even though, I mean, there's a lot of mothers that don't even want their kids. You see it all the time. I know we don't want to believe that, but it's true. You see them there. They keep them locked in a bedroom in shackles. They put them in baby seats in the back of their car, then drive into the lake, killing them. And this kind of thing happens far more frequently than I think you believe. Yeah, just... If you want to Google it, go ahead, but if something ever happens to your kids later on, they could use that in the prosecution's case, so erase your history afterwards. And it must be awkward saying Happy Mother's Day to somebody who's used Planned Parenthood. Yeesh. I mean, obviously the gift you got was having a life free of an 18-year expensive commitment. You can do what you want, when you want. On the other hand, you're not going to be getting a card. So take that how you will. The main thing I wanted to talk about, though, was news stories. I love news stories. I love reading the news. The weirder ones, the better. But because we're in this thing with a 24-hour news cycle, and everybody always has to, get on the next big story and the next big story, there are some stories that are, to me, very interesting and very compelling, and yet there's never a fucking follow-up, and it makes me angry because I want to know what happened, and that happened this week. I was reading a story, and this was from 2019, like near the end of 2019, so it's not brand new, but let me tell you the story first. It was in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Philly, where you get punched in the face just for disrespecting a sports team or saying they're not performing up to par. The city of brotherly love. So this kind of makes sense. And it probably happens here all the time. At least that's what you think until you hear the twist. But anyway, there's a vape shop. One of those where all the cool, edgy people, when they started vaping, they would go in there and buy their vapes and their things, and then blow the watermelon flavored smoke in your face thinking it's, oh, at least it smells better than cigarettes. But you're still blowing shit in my face, so knock it off. But it was at the height of popularity, I guess, in 2019, and so a guy from Philly walks into a vape shop. And he's a big guy. The accountant said he was 6'1", 6'2", and he was a large fellow. He had some heft to him. He had some weight. He obviously never missed. He never met a cheese steak sandwich he didn't like. Right? But he walks in. He has a mask on. He has a jacket on, and he pulls out a gun. There's a female clerk there, a young female clerk. Points the gun at her and says, "Give me all the money in your register or I'm going to shoot you." Probably a pretty common thing, right? It sounds like a normal, everyday convenience store robbery. Happens all the time. But bear with me here. So she goes around to the back. She doesn't want to die. Maybe she has kids. Maybe she doesn't. So if you do, happy Mother's Day to you, whoever you are. If not, plan on getting a thank you card from Planned Parenthood. But so she went around to the back. She opened the register. He reached across. He grabbed all the money. And now she's shaking. She's just fearful. It's like, okay, you got the money? Now just get out. Just get the fuck out. Please, just leave. But he doesn't. He counts the money. And what do you think is going to happen now? Because here's the twist. He counted the money, and it was less than $200. And he demanded that she take it back. That's not even the weirdest part. He said, "I can't do this. I want you to take the money back because this is not even going to come close to paying for my daughter's kidney transplant." So all of a sudden we have the first twist, like we think this is a bad dude, some crazy dude, some dude who doesn't want to work, and he's just out there trying to steal money to get his meth or his crack or, scalp tickets to the next Phillies game or whatever the fuck they do there. But no, there's a reason why he did it. That gives us our first clue. He demanded she take the money back. So reluctantly she did, because this could be a ploy. He could just be messing with her mind, right? But no, she took the money back. He just took off. Of course, the police were called. But that's where the story ends. But the only follow-up I could get from that story was that the police said, yes, he is looking at an armed robbery charge. However, the only victim was really, and I don't mean to mean this in a negative way, like, oh, it was only this young woman, because I'm sure she was traumatized. She works at a store, and some guy comes in with a gun threatening to kill her, give me your money. It's got to be very traumatizing. But she was the only victim, and nobody knows that the gun is real, if he had bullets in it, but none of that really matters. He was facing an armed robbery charge. But the police also said, but if we could find this guy, we could negotiate something. We might be able to work something out, because if it's true and he can prove that, he did it out of desperation, his daughter is dying from kidney failure and she needs a kidney. He just doesn't have the money to get her one. Then maybe we can find a way, we have to charge him, but maybe we can find a way to raise the money to make sure his daughter will still live. So when he gets out, he has a daughter to come home to. And I found that to be a very compelling story, because it goes to a basic moral question. If somebody's starving and they steal food from a store, should that be okay? Are we going to throw somebody in jail for stealing bread if they're hungry? That kind of thing. Or like me, if I'm really horny and can't afford a porn, are you going to prosecute me for stealing a rubber vagina from a porn shop? Come on, that's insane. I'm just desperate. But that's a dilemma we face. But here's the thing. maybe if you've heard about this, if I've only got 51 subscribers. I don't know how far this thing reaches, but if you're in Philly and you obviously have had to heard about this, because nobody ever gives the money back. I looked on the internet. I used every search term I could think of. I could not find a follow-up. Like, it made news, maybe not nationally, but at least in the eastern part of the United States, it made a lot of news. And I couldn't find out. This was in 2019. Surely they have some kind of resolution. Did they find the guy? Did his daughter really need a kidney? Was he crazy? I don't know. And I hate that when the news does that. Like, you see a viral or semi-viral story, and it makes a lot of news for a 1 or 2, maybe 3-day cycle, and then it just tapers off because there's other things in the news now that are making bigger news. And I don't know, and you never hear about, well, what happened to that? Well, what happened to that thing over there, I don't know, but I found that story compelling because if it's true, I want to know if they gave him the help he needed. Is his daughter okay? Was he just a nut job walking in, and maybe he did that 5 times that day? I don't know. Although I'm sure there would have been news reports about that. That would have made it kind of obvious. But I just hate when they do that. Kind of like all these baby gender reveal parties. Now, this is something I definitely have a stance on, like the guy I just talked about. It's like, it could go either way depending on his circumstance. Did they find him? Did they decide? But gender reveal parties are really such an egotistical, desperate thing for parents who just want attention. Back when I was growing up, because I'm old, I have to say that, when you found out what sex your baby was, when it popped out of the vagina hole, that's when, and it was like, hey, you got a girl, you got a boy. And people would say, oh, okay, great, or, oh, shit, I really wanted a boy. But that's when you found out. You made your decision then. Now parents are getting all this in advance, technology. They can find out what sex their baby is going to be, if it's going to be right-handed or left-handed, all that good stuff right before it's born. And these gender reveal parties have become insane. Like, people have died because things accidentally explode and things happen and people get shrapneled by these exploding canisters that are supposed to be either blue or pink, depending on the sex, And in one case, it started a forest fire. It started a huge forest fire because they were setting off all these pyrotechnics to announce, we're going to have a boy, we're going to have a girl. Well, good for you. Now you got a bunch of dead boy and girl animals because of your need to be paid attention to. So stop that shit. But one thing I'm very proud of in my life, if there is one thing to be proud of, I have never been invited to a gender reveal party. I think that says a lot about the man. I don't hang out with those kind of people. Whoa. But the one I like the most is when they were trying to pop the canister, with the smoke. It was supposed to be blue or it was supposed to be pink, and it came out black. There was this black smoke, and everybody was like, well, I don't know what that means. And the only thing I thought was, I didn't realize miscarriage was a gender. That's obviously what that means. Oh, shit. Yeah. But anyway, if anybody lives in Philly or has heard about this story, about the fat guy who robbed the girl, gave the money back because his daughter needed a kidney transplant, let me know how that turned out, because I can't find anything anywhere. And I really want to know. For some reason, I just find that compelling. As I said, we did move today here in Cambodia. This is going to sound strange if you're listening from anywhere other than Cambodia. All right. But moving here, living here, is cheap and it's very easy. I don't talk a lot about Cambodia on here because I have my main channel. Dave Does Cambodia. The link for that is down below if you want to subscribe and watch that. I talk about all the things about Cambodia, answer all your questions, things like that. But I will say this, things are very cheap here. and very easy. You don't need a social security number. You don't need a fucking credit score. You don't need anything. Here's how easy it is to find an apartment. Sengla got up this morning at 7 o'clock from our old apartment that we were paying $50 a month for. That's right, $50. She got up at 7 o'clock. She came back about 11. I had just crawled my ass out of bed because I stay up till 3 or 4 in the morning. She came in and said, I found another apartment. We're going to move because it's bigger, it's nicer, and it's only $10 more. $60 a month. I said, oh, okay. She already paid for it? Let's go. And now we're here. It was that easy. If you find an apartment here, if you got the money for the rent, you can move in that same day without a problem. It took us maybe 4 hours total, packing everything up, finding the transportation to get it over here, unpacking and setting it all up the way we wanted it. And, we even had time to go to the market with some friends, the local market. We bought some food, we bought some chicken, and she made a great first meal here. It was awesome. So this will be my new spot. Obviously there is a light back there, but I thought she was sleeping, so I didn't turn it on. I'm just using the light on my camera. But it'll be a lot better from now on, the quality of the video and everything. Of course, if you're listening, you're like, I don't give a fuck about the quality of the video. I have ears, you stupid asshole. I get it. And I appreciate you for listening. And also saying I'm an asshole because it's something I've never denied. All right, that'll do it for this one. Once again, thank you guys for watching, listening, liking, subscribing, sharing, all that good stuff. And no, she's outside doing something. Yeah, but anyway, I still have a couple beers left. I'm going to finish those off. So I'll talk to you guys in the next one. And remember, if you shit your pants, just pretend like you didn't and hope nobody pats you on the ass. Yeah? That does happen to all of us.